What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 32 of Power Word Fail Review. A little bit under the weather today, so today's review might not be the best. Everybody gets a sick day, but the show must go on. We said every day, so we're going to do every day. Again, the episode picks up right where they left off. Starts off with Christopher's death. Christopher is dead on the ground. Pickles gets up. Doesn't remember much of what happened. She's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a weird stage of memory loss and not knowing. She like remembers fighting Zeos, but doesn't remember a lot before that. So that is a little weird. Adalia has a moment with Christopher. She kind of like holds him and like caresses him and, just kind of has a moment with him. And it's so weird that Christopher was a Crystalborn. I just completely forgot that and blocked that out my memory. But Ferric has mixed emotions about Pickles coming back to life. He calls her an abomination. Oof. But now, earlier, way back when we were talking about Marcus and him bringing his wife back, Ferric was like, man, I understand why you did this. Like, your reasonings are just... And the rest of the group was just like, you shouldn't have done that, Marcus, you asshole. So now stuff has flip-flopped. Ferric is like, she should not be alive. She's an abomination. And the rest of the group is just like, I'm glad she is back. So, a little flip-flop there. But, yeah, I'm happy Pickles is not dead. I'm real happy. Ambrose and Mirage support her coming back to life, of course. Mirage is his best friend, and Ambrose doesn't want to see anybody die. Dahlia's on their side, too, whatever. But Ferric just kind of has a little... I don't know. He's just weird about it. Ferric takes a walk. I don't think he leaves outside of the room, but he just walks around because they're in the throne room. It's pretty big. Ambrose bottles some of that Zeos goo. He bottles up some of the goo from Zeos. That just made it worse. Anyway, and he keeps it for later. He might gonna go study it or figure more out about it. They think about Christopher's family and how to tell them that he's no longer with them, and then they remember that his mom was horrible, and they were trying to think about any other family that they had. Ferric walks up and he goes through Christopher's pockets to find the letters that were given him, and it is mostly from his dad, and like they just kind of talk about blah 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 and his job, and then I think the last letter was just kind of him apologizing for all the things that went wrong with them. The team continues to have their moment with Christopher and everybody else. And then Cornelius walks in, ready for battle with his soldiers or the Ivory Guard. But they walk in ready to fight Zeos, and of course he's late to the party. He asks the Ivory Guard, where is Commander Buisson? They tell him he told them not to come. He was aware of the situation, and he was just like, don't worry about it. Which is crazy. I think the Ivory Guard is kind of like in any like medieval time, the royal guard that's supposed to protect the queen and, but whatever. Anyway, they ask what happens now with the queen dead. The group asks what happens now. Cornelius doesn't really know, but there's a group of people called the Golden Council that makes decisions in times like these. And they kind of control Mournstead and all the other places in the backgrounds. So I'm guessing they worked with the queen or whoever to make these decisions, laws and whatnot. They're like the state senate, whatever. They talk about politics for a while. Ferric thinks Adalia should become the queen since she killed Zeos, and Zeos is the one who killed the queen. Because, that's technically what Zeos was about to do. I killed the queen, so now I'm the king. But we find out that Adalia has no interest in being the queen. Man, I wonder how the campaign would go if she was like, yeah, let me be queen. I'll be queen. And would this campaign be totally different? Or would she retire that character, and the DM takes it over, and then you you make a new character. Mm. Cornelius says the Golden Council is not a good group. They shouldn't be trusted. They're kind of like sneaky and everything. He doesn't wish to be king himself, and he just wants to go bury his daughter. He only cares about money and power, but I mean, wouldn't that be what a king is? King has all the powers, and eventually they get all the money. But they suggest that Cornelius tells. They suggest the group suggests that Cornelius tell the people of Mournstead what happened, because hearing it from a bunch of strangers probably would not go well. He agrees to that. They switch back to their regular forms because apparently they can do that at will. You know, a lot of stuff that I just forgot or don't remember in my head. I was just like, man, a whole different group of people got credit for stopping Zeos, but they switch back and they get credit. Ferric takes the sword Zeos had. I don't remember where he put it, but he might have put it in the bag of holding. Ambrose warns the group about Cornelius that he's a snake in the grass. And then Cornelius takes the group to address the people. He tells the people what happened to the queen and what happened with Zeos. And, you know, the group smiles and waves. Cornelius warns them of the dangers of politics. You know, they might be used or be a pawn in people's plans or whatever. So he's like, you probably shouldn't stay around here too long if you're not like adept in politics. He does offer to let them have Christopher's funeral at his place. He gives them like a hospitality. You saved the kingdom. You brought me back my daughters. So you're more than welcome to stay here as long as you want to. You'll always have a home here if you need it. So he's pretty nice about that. Cornelius randomly gets memories back. We find out that Roger, his doorman, has been dead for years, and he had another doorman. I forgot his name. Starts with it. I forgot. But Roger's been dead for years, and somebody's been impersonating Roger. So they were like, "We just met Roger today. So who was like that?" And then he was like, "That." To Cornelius, that was his regular doorman. But to the group, it was Roger. And my thing is, if you were impersonating somebody and you did this spell on somebody to make them, why not impersonate the doorman that's alive? Because if you go through these lengths of getting in somebody's house, impersonating them, you would think that you would know that they had another doorman, and why not impersonate them? So that was a little off. That was a little off for me. But we find out that Roger's dead. Somebody's been impersonating Roger. Somebody's altered Cornelius' memories to make him forget that, and make him forget that Roger was even dead. So when those memories came back, and why all of a sudden after the climax of Zeos, do we think Zeos had control? Man, I can't wait, because my predictions. I love predictions because I watch a lot of TV. I know a lot of tropes. I know I know how like people think. So my predictions on like what's gonna happen, they're always racing. But anyway, but yeah, so we find that out. He tells everyone that his doorman left a few days ago. His regular one that he knows left a few days ago. So he doesn't know who that was that let them in. It looks like he has come out of the spell, just kind of like he's drowsy. It's kind of like he's just woken up, but he's broke free of the spell that whatever had him. They get to the house and look around for anything fishy. Ambrose finds something behind the wallpaper on the wall. There's a secret door. A room opens up when Ferric casts Knock. The room is filled with necrotic magic and energy. A creepy voice can be heard asking them to come in. And I'm reading from a script now. I'm like about to read a horror book or something. But this creepy voice starts to ask them to come in. Ambrose says nope and closes the door. Cornelius says, if it's in my house, I need to have a look and figure out what is in my house. We do find out that Cornelius bought this house from someone else. Like, I mean, they've been here for a long time, but they originally bought this from someone else. So who knows what it could actually be. But I, of course, think it was planted there by somebody else. Maybe the original Roger was messing with black magic or something. Ambrose tells Cornelius to shut up and tells him to go get the Ivory Guard. Cornelius is upset at this point because everybody's being rude towards him. The group is telling him what to do in his own house. Mirage was the only one I agreed with at this point. Mirage was, and I won't say that often, but Mirage is the only one I agreed with at this point. He was like, let's just leave. And something did get mixed up here because the group was like, we want to not open the door. And Cornelius was like, I'm going to open the door. And then they went back and forth about that. And then Cornelius was just like, you guys can get out. And then they were just like, I think Mirage was like, yeah, we can. We will leave. You can die from whatever. And then Cornelius was like, I'm not going to open the door. I'm going to wait for the Ivory Guard to get here. And then if that was the case, why didn't, I don't know. But anyway, they were real rude to Cornelius because in my thing, if he wanted to open this door in his house, even if it was like the end of the world type stuff, let him. But one thing it did that was said, I think Pickles and Ambrose said it. It was like, it's not our problem now, but I guarantee it's going to be our problem later if he opens this door. And then everybody was kind of like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, not from a player or a character or role play aspect. There's just kind of like, it's just kind of like the niceness in me is just like, you're in that man's house. Like, you tell that man to shut up and y'all gonna do whatever y'all want to do in his house. But so that was just like a little off-putting. Cornelius says they can stay for the funeral, but then after that, they need to leave. Ambrose steals Evangeline's ashes as they walk away. But I think he doesn't. I think that's like he didn't because, like, again, there was a misunderstanding there of what was happening. So I think he didn't steal her ashes. So Spunkles wants to talk to the group. He is much like everybody is like, when are we going to get that beach day? When we're just going to get a normal day to just goof off and do what we want to do. And everybody kind of agrees with Spunkles. He tells the group that the magic behind the door might be something to seal it in, so whatever's in there won't get out. And of course, this is his speculation, but of course, this is the DM. Like, if you guys don't want to deal with the door right now, you don't have to worry about it. So, something knocks at the door, and that's where the episode ends, of course. There's a knock at the door, and the episode ends there. Not one of my favorite episodes, I have to tell you that. This was not one of my favorite episodes. And it was just like, at the end there was a lot of confusion. Sorry, got distracted. Christopher's gone now, so that was sad. That was a sad moment. I think there was a lot of personality shifts, like with Ferric, like earlier. And the only reason I remember this is because I've been doing these episodes every day. So Ferric being like with Marcus, I can understand and see why you brought your wife back. But then when Pickles comes back, he's just like, that's an abomination, and that should not be the case. Which, I mean, I guess we don't know if Pickles has been brought back by evil means, But Marcus's wife has been brought back by evil means, and Ferric was just like, I can see that. I understand why you brought your wife back. I mean, it might not have been the best thing, but in that situation, I can understand. The whole thing with Cornelius, like I said, I'm not gonna hold that against him. That was good role play. It just made me feel awkward because I would never go into anybody's house, and I mean, I would never go into. I know role play, just good. It's just Um, there was like just a lot of information thrown around. The group with the whole Queen's death and everything. But I don't know. There was a lot of information, but not much done. Just kind of moving place to place, in my opinion. So I'm going to give this episode 6 hit dice out of 10. I did, like I said, it's not one of my favorite episodes. This one, it was very much just a regular episode. It wasn't bad, and the role play was still great. The music was still great. Carlos still did a good job at DMing. It's just, I don't know. It was just something missing there that I can't put my finger on an explanation. It just kind of it was missing something. But yep, 6 hit dice out of 10. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. If you would score this episode, what would you score it to be? Yeah, and as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching Miles TV. Bye.